Hello, everybody. It is me, Tyra, aka Sticky, and it is a sticky situation. How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing good. If you watched my video before this, you already know that I've already done my nail of the moment, so I'm gonna skip that portion of the video. But I am gonna have you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that notification bell so you are notified when I do upload a video. We are making our way towards my first 1,000 subscribers, and I am excited. Thank you all who have decided to join me on this journey. And if you are interested in knowing how I've been able to lose weight and maintain it, my tips and tricks to that, I want you to stay tuned. Hello everyone, it is me, Tyra, aka Sticky, and welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody's doing really good. I'm doing great lately. I just did a video on my skincare routine, so if you have not watched it, I'm gonna put it up here in the cards up there. But I know you watched it. I know y'all already watched it. But just in case you haven't, it's gonna be up there. Okay, so get right to it today. Not diddly-daddling. That's my new word. Diddly-daddling around. I'm going to give you guys 6 tips on how I've been able to lose weight and maintain it. Quick backstory. When I started my weight loss journey over 10 years ago, I was 215 pounds. That was my heaviest. Was 215 pounds. I was a size 18, 20, and I am 5'4", barely 5'4". So you can imagine all of that weight. And I had high blood pressure, all of these things. And I remember going to pick up my blood pressure medicine, which I didn't develop high blood pressure till I got pregnant with my son, but it just never went away. Anyway, remember going to go pick up my prescription, and they had changed it to something else, and the cost was over $100. And I remember telling the pharmacist, like, you can keep that. I'd rather lose weight. So, because I was not about to pay $100. I was not about that life to pay $100 for medicine for the rest of my life every month. So there we started my weight loss journey. What I decided to do, me being the nerd, did research to figure out the best thing for me. So I started with my diet. I started with everything that I eat, and I took it all out. If I didn't cook it, it wasn't going in my body. So I took everything out. I took out wheat, I took out gluten, I took out sugar, I took out all processed foods. If it was not alive or grew in the ground, it was not going in my mouth. I did that for probably, like, faithfully for 6 months. For about 6 months, probably a little bit longer than that. It's been so long now, but it was probably a little bit longer than that. That's all I did. That's all I did. I cooked a lot, but I made it streamlined and made it simple. So I just cleaned up my diet. And in that process, I probably lost about 20 pounds in that alone. And that was with no exercise. For the first year, I did no exercise whatsoever. None. And I lost the weight. So by the time I started implementing in some exercise, I'd probably lost 35 pounds at that point. Which is all good. And then once I started exercising, wanted to maintain it. So that's where I'm at. Fast forward now in maintaining that, how I lost the weight, things of that nature. Tip number 1, the first thing, and I have them written down, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notebook. Tip number 1 in how I've been able to lose the weight and maintain it and keep it off is I had to get my mind right. Point blank, period. I had to get my mind right. I had to change the way that I saw myself as fat girl, overweight, or unhealthy. And even if I was those things, that was gonna be okay. If that was my choice or whatever, and I was going to be heavier, then I was going to love myself regardless. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it is what it is. That's exactly what I had to do. I had to change the narrative surrounding what it is to be heavier. You know, it didn't take away from me in any sense of having weight on me. I was still Tyra. You know, I was just heavier than what society says I should be, you know. But I wanted a healthy self-image. So that was the first thing for me, was getting my mind right. Getting my mind right, because that was where the battle was. The battle to say no to certain foods and not wanting to go to the gym was going to start in my mind. And if I had myself convinced in my mind that I was defeated already or coming up with excuses, then it wasn't going to happen. I wanted to be successful at this. And so get my mind right. That's tip number 1. Moving on to tip number 2 was understanding my personal relationship with food. I've never been a foodie. Food doesn't move me. I don't get excited about eating. How some people love to be in the kitchen and create these extravagant meals. That is not me, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I can cook. My mother made sure that her girls knew how to cook and take care of home and things like that, but I don't enjoy it. So I was never a foodie. I was never a person that ate a lot. I just didn't move, you know. So, but one thing that I did notice, that I was somewhat of an emotional eater, and like I could reward myself with food or being around people, like hanging out with my friends, you know, the feelings that come with that. It was the emotions and just having that meal with the people I love or people that I was comfortable being around. So that's where the emotional eating came from. But I had to understand my relationship to food, and that I don't like it. It's just a necessity. I shouldn't say I don't like it. I'm just not all that moved. It doesn't excite me. It just doesn't. I just don't get excited about eating. But I had to understand that about myself and accept that it's okay that I don't like to cook and all of those things, and just finding what I do like and cooking those things, as long as it feeds me and fuels my body, because it's just fuel. As long as it does those things, I'm okay. And that is my number 2 way that I've been was able to lose the weight and keep it off. Number 3, educate myself on proper nutrition and fitness. Everything don't work for everybody. I had to tweak and try different things, and far as my diet was concerned, and see what works for me. I knew I wasn't going to get quick results. You got to let that go. But I studied, I researched. I still do that. I still want to make sure that my body is running at its optimum. And sometimes I do better than others. But I am still in research mode and understanding my body, especially now as I focus more on the fitness part of everything. I am really curious about how my body, what's going on with it at the age of 44, because I'm not 24 or 34. I was in my 30s when I started this journey. I am no longer in my 30s. I'm in my 40s. My body is completely different. It is going through all kinds of hormonal changes. So I know that this is going to continue to be one of those things where I'm going to have to continue to research and understand nutrition and tweak things and change it. But the main thing is research and educating yourself about nutrition, about fitness, and doing and finding what is best for you in your health journey. You'll notice a lot of times I don't say weight loss, because my focus is not weight loss. My focus has always been my health. My health. What is the best thing that I can do for my health? Okay? That was tip number 3, which was educating myself. Number 4 ties into the rest of those, is get moving. after it was all said and done and I got most of the weight off, I knew I needed to get up and get around. I needed to start moving this body. So I joined the Y, as you all know, my Y journey. I love the YMCA. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is like one of the best things that ever happened to me. Joined the Y, started taking classes, really just being consistent with it. And I know it is hard because there's some days when it's cold outside and all of that. I just want to stay in the house, but no, I still go. I made a promise to myself. I have goals, whatever the case. I want to be healthy and I gotta move. Now, sometimes it just isn't gonna be possible for you to go to the gym. You can't afford it, whatever the case is. For me, it was going to the gym. But you can do it at home. I dance here. I don't work out at home. I'm not gonna even lie, I do not. But I'll dance, I'll do something. I'll go on a walk or a run with my kids, whatever. Is just getting moving. As much as we want to stay on that couch and as much as we want to stay in that bed, because I do love my bed. I love my bed. It's so comfortable. Gotta get moving. And that's what I did. That's what I had to do to maintain what I lost and also build muscle, because, you know, I just like the way it looks. I like the way that looks on my body. So that was number 4, is getting moving. Number 5 was staying consistent, but allow room for some grace. Everybody deserves grace and mercy, and that is true for yourself too. Staying consistent. It's part of my life now. It is literally part of my everyday routine, my everyday life. So it was lifestyle. It's a lifestyle for me. So I don't really have to think about it anymore. I just naturally, I'll go say I'm going to the gym. It is now. I work there now too, so that helps. But even still, I'm mindful of what I eat. That just became part of Sticky. That's what I'm kind of known for now. Everyone's like, oh, you're at the gym. I'm sure you're at the gym. Or they know I'm going to eat something weird or crazy. To them, it's weird or crazy as far as the things that I don't put into my body. And not that I don't, and that's where the grace comes in. It isn't like I don't allow myself to go full ham, but I know the consequences of it, and I don't allow myself to go too far. Like, I'm going to reel that back in. And it's for health reasons. Once again, not for vanity. It's not for vanity, even though that's a byproduct of it. It's not my focus. My focus is always going to be on my health. And that leads to number 6. And my final tip: focus on health, not the number on the scale. To be honest with you guys, I don't weigh 214 anymore, but the last time I went to the doctor, I weighed 180 pounds. But I recognize that scale means almost diddly squattity doop bop, because I weigh that, but I'm fit. And where I was an 18, 20 far as my clothes, when I began my journey, I'm now an 8'10". I can wear size 8, I can wear size 10, I can wear size 12. It depends on the clothes, of course. You know, nowadays sizes be all over the place depending on the brand. So I don't focus on that scale. I focus on what I look like in my clothes and things of that nature, and my measurements. Please do your measurements and focus on that. If you don't want to do your measurements or you don't know how, you can Google it, get someone to help you to make your measurements when you start your journey. And that's how I recommend that you gauge your progress. And there's other ways that I teach in my classes to people to gauge your fitness level that has nothing to do with how much you weigh, because how much you weigh is so many different factors that go into that. Water, are you constipated? The weather, I mean, it's all types of things that go into how much you weigh. Your bones, it's weighing everything on that scale. So it's not taking into consideration all those other things. So, and it can do a mind thing with you and make you feel discouraged. So No scale. No scale, no scale. Measure yourself or get a t-shirt or something like that, and you'll notice your progress as you get, that t-shirt gets looser and looser and looser. That's what I recommend. Stay focused on health, not the number on the scale. So those are my 6 tips of how I was able to lose the weight and how I've been able to maintain it and focus on my health. Guys, you can do it. Wherever you are, start there and just make it do what it do. Y'all know I say that all the time. Make it do what it do. There's no excuses to anything. It's about health. We want quality of life, not a bunch of years necessarily. I'll take them, but I want quality of life, and we have to focus on our health. Especially my brothers and sisters, we have to get that mind right, get our body right, our spiritual health, our financial health. It all goes together, and it starts right here. I preach it day in and day out because I know what it did for me. Needless to say, like button, subscribe button, comment, tell me, are you gonna do it? Tell me, Tyra, I'm gonna do it. I'm ready. Let me know in the comments. Say, I'm ready, Tyra. We can do this together. If you guys want more tips and tricks and things that I do to level up as far as my fitness goes, let me know. I'll do it. I'll make a video somehow, some way. But either way, good people, I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.